I mean, we have to be honest about the fact that there are a lot of gatekeepers in our industry. The ones that are being recycled in putting out their work, they're not putting out work that a lot of people want to actually see. When you watch TV these days, it's too explicit.
Yeah.
You know? We're really moving away from let's cooler like we always used to like. It's if there's like a very
Blood and Water, that Netflix series, felt a little bit unrealistic. You have this girl being an investigator, a whole full-blown investigator in high school. Where does that even happen? Jezebel music video.
Oh my god, yes, I was.
How did that come to be? That was like the biggest song at that time.
Yeah, I was sick, I couldn't walk, I couldn't see at some point. I was just always a very weird kid. I'd read people randomly without realizing it. I'd see things before they happen. I'd be able to pray for people and they heal.
Are you a healer in a sense of being called to be a healer, or you chose to be a healer?
So you choose to be a healer?
Welcome to another episode of Sounds Good Enough. Today we have Naledi here with us, a singer, a thespian, a TV presenter, a voice, a PR marketer, everything.
Everything. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's quite interesting when I see people have like a long list of some things. I'm like, when do you have time to do all of these things?
I'm a Libra, so I'm very good at balancing things, I think.
So you believe in star signs?
I do.
Heavily or just?
Heavily. So I am a healer. So naturally I do believe in, everything as far as the universe, the cosmos, and everything in between. So...
Hey, that thing, I've broken up with a girl once because of those things.
Chakrahan.
Chakra, and it was too much.
I mean, we're spiritual beings.
So you also make decisions based on all of that?
Yeah. I think we should all make decisions based on, what spirit says.
Yeah.
Because we're all spiritual beings, having a physical experience, I think so.
Do you not think that these things might also be wrong as well? Because like you read like it says maybe a Capricorn, right? And maybe an Aries might also relate to those things, because it's like it's very broad sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can ever miss. Spirit never lies.
Okay. All right. I disagree, but it's fine, eh? Okay, cool. So as an actor, you've played a character named Maria on Amazon Prime, right? Do you think we're going to get to a point where we make a full-blown South African movie without like any, how can I say, like Western influence to some extent?
Look, I think that, I don't want to be dragged by South African thespians and directors, but I honestly feel like we're getting there. There's so many directors and writers that have really amazing stories, but they just don't have the platform to put out their work. So, yeah.
Is that really true though?
It is true. I mean, we have to be honest about the fact that there are a lot of gatekeepers in our industry, and the ones that are being recycled in, putting out their work, they're not putting out work that a lot of people want to actually see. It's always the same thing. And, just the other day, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. We're talking about how when you watch TV these days, it's too explicit.
Every single scene is...
so it's we're really moving away from the essence of what storytelling is sometimes.
As well.
Like we always used to like, if there's like a very...
It would normally look down.
You understand? But now it's like, I don't, it's very uncomfortable.
People watch it while eating popcorns these days.
Yeah. I mean, also think of it like if you are an actor and you're kind of expected to be explicit like that on screen. I mean, you are an actor, you know what I mean? But sometimes it gets a little bit too much.
Would you take such a role?
I mean, if the money good and the storyline is good, I will.
Based on what you say, right? I'm just basing it on what you say. People are compromising just for their bag. There's no longer the sense of, I'm an artist. This is not something I'll take. I'll take this and that and that and that.
Yeah. Most of them. But Nakona, we have to be honest, guys. There's no money in this industry.
But I feel like if most of us took that conscious decision to say, like, you know what, we're done with this.
Yeah.
We're done with telling, like, I'm going to give you an example. Was it Blood and Water, that Netflix series?
Yeah.
Was done to an extent where it felt a little bit unrealistic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, sure, I get these kids are in these private schools, yada, yada, but you have this girl being an investigator, a whole full-blown investigator in high school. Where does that even happen? You know?
I get you.
So we kind of taking that detective, whatever route that America, like if we see it in America, be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But us, where's our stories? Because I feel like we have so many stories.
Why do you think our stories changed? Because maybe my view's different, you know. I feel like storytelling in South Africa, we probably have the best storytellers in our continent. But there's just something wrong somewhere, somehow.
The perfect example of Western and African told, I honestly would say the last thing that we probably had in South Africa was Tsotsi.
Oh, yeah, I get you.
It was a night. It was even the last ever movie to even receive an Oscar.
And it's relatable.
Yeah. It's done. It's written well.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
So it's like, why can't we go back to that? Like, why do we... Are we doing this so that we can sell to America? What's the chance?
Yeah, I mean, now there's like Netflix, Showmax and stuff. So people are just trying to keep up with the American culture, I guess.
I think we're thinking backwards, though.
We are.
Because you look at, was it China? Or, forgot, one of the Asian countries. They had a film, I think, A Train in Busan or whatever, it won an Oscar. And it was their thing. Like, they told, I'm not saying, like, we mustn't now be fictional, but it needs to kind of, like, you couldn't, like, you see, like, how Amapiano is.
Yeah.
Amapiano is South African stories.
Yeah.
I love Amapiano.
Sure.
But I can't say the same thing about our movies.
I think go back to theater. You'll have maybe a different opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
good storytelling is in theater, if we're being honest.
Why can't we have it on the big screen? We have a golden opportunity, right? What do you think, Winnie? What do you think? How do you think it's gonna go in the future? Like, do you see us ever going back to those days?
I honestly feel like they should allow young writers and directors to be given a platform to tell their stories, because most of these really talented writers are mostly in theater. Like, you never really see their work properly. I don't know, but so yeah, if they just open up the industry like properly, then that would make sense, I think.
Okay, I hear that as well, but also, why can't you guys do it, like the younger people? I'm sure you have other people who are actors in your space. You have somebody who's a videographer, right? Who wants to get an opportunity for Netflix to do, but he has a camera, right? You have someone who's probably like a producer, can get things done. Why can't you guys say, like, you know what? Why don't we create? I mean, that's how A24 came to be. Like, young kids coming together, and why can't you guys do it?
I honestly don't know. I don't know, but maybe if you had to ask, others, that probably say it's the money, and just having the right platforms at the end of the day, because we can mobilize and do the work. Then what happens?
independent platforms that are taking these movies. Like I said, A24. There's another one that's coming up now.
Yeah.
So you guys create that. You put it out there. Some of these movies, because the whole point of these workshop, whatever, is to show these films.
You're actually right, because the GFC also does that. The Gauteng Film Commission also does that.
Yeah.
Well,
and if it's good enough, somebody can like, hey, let's put some money back in. Why do we have to wait for Netflix to give you the bag when you can kind of go chase the bag yourself?
Yeah, I get you. Oh well, we come from far and we still have a long way to go. So yeah.
Okay, so but do you feel like just because of sometimes the bag is a bit scarce, you have to be a jack of all trades? Like I said, you're a voiceover artist. You're
yes. I'm not saying do everything because you want to, earn multiple streams of income. But do what you know you're good at. If you want to be able to generate multiple streams of income, you're gonna have to invest in other things. So, for instance, if I want to be a writer, right? Writers go to school for it. You need the qualifications, the experience, the mentorship.
Yeah.
So then it becomes easier like that. You understand? So you can't just do everything because
you can do everything.
You can do everything. Yeah. I mean, it shows at the end of the day. We know of people that do like a lot of things. They wear many hats, but they're not excelling or they're not as good. You understand? So, yeah.
What's your big hat that you wear proudly? So.
Oh. They asked me that question of air and I'm like, everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
But if they were to say, let's get rid of the voiceover, between voiceover, a thespian, an actor, a singer, which one would you say, you know what, I can wear this forever and rock with it?
I honestly don't want to lie.
Yeah.
I don't want to look back at this and be like, yo.
No, I mean, it's hypothetical. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Yeah.
Look, I honestly feel like everything that I do is part of who I am.
Sure.
It's an extension of who I am.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for me to say I like the fact that I'm a healer. I like the fact that I sing. I like the fact that I write or model. It's all part of being Naledi. There's story in everything that I do. There's impact. I don't know. So it's very.
She's white. That's it. She's white. I get what you're saying, but
I really like being a healer.
Healer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my ability and my gifts to heal, and again, the healing goes broader. Because,
what do you mean by healer?
So I'm a traditional healer as well, right? And with me practicing as a healer, I also incorporate that in my storytelling, whether it's in music or theater. So. Hence, I'm saying that it's very difficult for me to say, I must pick just one, because storytelling belongs everywhere at the end of the day. Yeah.
Are you a healer in a sense of being called to be a healer, or you chose to be a healer?
Do you choose to be a healer?
No, I don't. I'm not quite... not.
I'm called. No, I've been called. Yeah. And then eventually I answered my calling.
Okay.
And I had a very tough journey. I mean, my upbringing was very hard. My spiritual journey. I mean, I trained for 2 years. I was away from home for 2 years. I was sick. I couldn't walk. So it's like very common stories of people. I couldn't see at some point,
Wow.
So I was just always a very weird kid. I'd read people randomly without realizing it. I'd see things before they happen. I'd be able to pray for people and they heal,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No. So do you normally like have short hair, or is it like something you've started doing?
Yes. So funny story. I cut my hair I think a year or two after I came back home from initiation, I had a very big afro. So you know how if you're initiating as a traditional healer, you have to dread your hair, you have to put on certain things on your hair. So my ancestors don't want me to have hair.
Okay.
Other people find it very contradictory because Isintu says Inyanga has to have, long hair or natural hair or whatever. Amandla wethu asenweleni, whatever. But for me, I can't grow my hair. But also that's quite interesting because after I cut my hair, that's when I started getting more bookings.
Okay.
So it's like it's a look now. It's an aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, like the bald head girl is something that people are, looking for because everyone now is rocking a weave.
I mean, I'm not against weaves, but I prefer short hair.
Short hair.
Yeah, I'm a pixie cut kind of girl, or just cheese got kind of girl.
Why do you think your ancestors want you to not have hair as like compared to like others where you do have to have?
I think it's identity, and just for me to understand that I don't have to have. I think it's a confidence thing. Yeah.
So it has nothing to do, like for example, I don't know if you do read the Bible as well.
Yeah, no. I used to.
Okay, like Samson, right?
Yeah.
He was told not to cut his hair, and then when he cut his hair,
and
he
his
lost
power.
all his power.
Yeah.
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 So would you say it's like similar to that?
Like I was saying that, traditionally we believe that traditional
There's
healers.
power in you.
Yes. But for me it's completely different, because at the end of the day we have different spirits, different ancestors and stuff, and they know what's best for each of us. And for me, they want me to keep my short hair. There are times where I feel like I really wish I could have longer hair or wear a wig, but it just never ends well every time I wear a wig, so yeah.
Is your music fully connected to your spirituality? Or do you do like things that are just
vibes?
Just vibes.
No. It's always spiritual. Yeah, it's always spiritual.
Okay.
It has to touch you. You have to feel something. Yeah.
Hit us with a note, like a 30,
guys, I've
30
got
second
flu.
singing.
Guys.
Or was just sing one of your songs.
You see, that's the one thing that's gonna give me anxiety. But people must just stream Vusela featuring Keenan Meyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. We're about to wrap up, but before we do that, I want to ask you, I saw that on your profile that you sent me that you were in the Jezebel music video.
Oh my God, yes, I was.
How did that come to be, and
That is so funny.
how was that like though? Because that was like the biggest song at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were gonna ask that. So I what I remember is that I was shooting Idols at the time. I was 16. And we left shooting
16?
Idols. Yeah.
Jeez.
So we left, set, and we went to Professor's set. And I was with Umam Winnie Khumalo, the late Mam Winnie Khumalo. She was I don't know, she just had this faith in me that I could act.
You could actually
and
do
then
it.
That was my very first acting experience. And she was the one that styled me. I wore her outfit that she wore back in the day. And she was like, "You're going to act as Jezebel." The rest was history, really. And it was just, okay.
Wasn't it kind of weird for you because, Jezebel, what Jezebel means and being...
For me, it was fun because that was such an interesting era.
Yeah.
Like, the professor era.
Yeah.
you know,
You're a teenager.
I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
You know, it was cool. And I mean, at the time, you know, music videos were a big thing. So mainstream TV would have like these music videos playing out all the time. So it was quite fun. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I actually need to go and watch that music video because I
Please
didn't
do.
see you. But anyways, thanks for coming.
Thank you for
Really
having me.
appreciate
This was
you
fun.
sharing your story and yeah. So guys, go check it out. I'm gonna put it in the description and all of that. But without wasting time, shop.